YouTube, it's me, Bergie, and I'm here again with another haul, but this time it is a library haul. I know I just showed you guys a bunch of books that I had bought, but I can't help myself from going to the library too, because I'm crazy like that. But instead of getting fantasy books, which was basically the whole content of my actual book buying haul that will probably have been posted before this, I decided to take out a lot of nonfiction books from my library. I'm not one to read a ton of nonfiction, and that's definitely something that I want to change, but it's a lot harder to just browse, I feel like, nonfiction books. You really need to have a title in mind or even a topic in mind to get books, which is a shame, but oh well. I really need to get better at figuring out different nonfiction books that I want to read. But that being said, I did take out 6 nonfiction books from my library, and I am going to show them to you right now. So the first book I have here is We Should All Be Feminists by Chimamanda Ngozi Adichie. I was expecting this to be a lot bigger, but like her other feminist nonfiction book, Dear Ijawele, I'm probably pronouncing that wrong. But yeah, that book was also short, but for some reason I thought this was much bigger, but I guess not. So I kind of just wanted to pick this up because it's short for one, and also I kind of want to get into reading feminist literature so that way I can kind of create a research-ish kind of video about the entire subject, my thoughts about them, any literature that helped either continue to form my thoughts about the subject or whatever. I haven't really planned much out, but I do definitely want to do some research related videos and different discussions about different topics, and I figured feminism would be one because that is such a big thing at the moment. So yeah, I thought since it's so short, it's a good place to kind of start out at, so I got this. Another book I have is 7 Brief Lessons on Physics by Carlo Rovelli. This I had seen on a booktuber's channel, but I am forgetting her name. I will list it down in the description below if I remember. But she talked about it. She said it was a good starting point for physics, and even though I've already read a couple by Stephen Hawking and, oh, what's his name? Neil deGrasse Tyson, and also Bill Nye, I figured that this could be a quick read and might give me a better understanding of physics, because honestly it all goes over my head. I wish I was smart enough to understand all of it, but I'm not, and it makes me sad. So hopefully this will help me learn a little bit more about physics. Now, something that I was really happy that I found, because it's a newer book, is The Rise and Fall of the Dinosaurs, A New History of a Lost World by Steve Bruzzati. So like most people, I love dinosaurs. So when I heard about this book that kind of gives the whole narrative of dinosaur history, I was super excited to pick it up, especially because it kind of adds, I think, new information that we didn't think of before, we didn't know of before. And from the cover, you can see that most of the dinosaurs are kind of like feathery or fluffy, and that was something that I think was only recently proven, is that instead of being like scaly like reptiles, dinosaurs are actually feathery like birds. So yeah, I want to see what other new things that will change my mind or my thoughts or perception of dinosaurs will be in this. So I definitely want to get to this soon. This might be the first out of all of these that I pick up. But I was actually super surprised that my library had this because it is such a new book. But yeah, I can't wait to read this. So the next 3 books are just random ones that I either saw displayed in my library or I was looking through my Goodreads for different nonfiction that I had shelved and wanted to read, and my library had them. So I don't really know much about the books. It's just something that at one point I had wanted to read and picked it up. So the first one is Stumbling on Happiness by Daniel Gilbert. What is this about? From the title, you can kind of guess this is a self-help kind of book that helps you become happier, and that's definitely something I want to work on. I have been very negative and anxious and kind of depressed the past couple of years, and I want to change that. I don't want to be that person anymore, so I'm trying to do whatever I can to change that. And if it means reading self-help books, which is something that I never thought I would ever do, I'm gonna try it and see if it works. I don't expect to like everything that they say or want to follow everything that's in here, but it'll give me a starting off point. But yeah, I don't know much more about that other than it's about being happy. So we'll see how that goes. The next one is Genghis Khan and the Making of the Modern World by Jack Weatherford. Again, I just saw that this was in my want to read shelf and my library had it, so I picked it up. But I'm guessing this is going to talk about how Genghis Khan's leadership or whatever led to the making of the modern world. That was a great description. I haven't learned much about Genghis Khan. He's just one of those figures in history that you just know the name of and not much else, or at least I don't. So I'm excited to see what I learned from this. Yeah, there's not much more I can say other than I don't know much about Genghis Khan other than his name. But yeah, I'm excited to read this. And then the last one I had just seen in a display at my library, and I was like, oh, that kind of sounds interesting. Let's see if I can make myself smarter. And it's called How to Think Like Einstein, Simple Ways to Break the Rules and Discover Your Hidden Genius by Scott Thorpe. Now this will probably be a scam. I don't know. I don't know if it'll actually make me smarter, but it says it has a whole bunch of different like methods that you can try out in order to make yourself use your mind to the best of its like capabilities. So I want to see if I can actually enforce those and actually make it work, because my memory has been extremely suckish and I would like to remember better, and maybe that this will help with it. Maybe it'll open my mind to new things. Maybe I'll finally be able to learn physics after reading this book. So yeah, I just picked this up because I saw it and it sounded interesting. But yeah, those are all the books that I borrowed from my library. If you guys actually have any nonfiction suggestions, I don't care what the subject matter is, I want it all. I would gladly take any suggestions. So if you have a favorite nonfiction book, let me know and I'll look to see if my library has it and I might pick it up. And yeah, so I'll see you guys next time.